And now for the word version. Sorry about the glow, the interesting glowing light. I haven't planned this soft tone, Jenny, for you. This is just Lorenzo's lamp that I've got up in my room because my lamp is broken. So, how did Massive Owl work collaboratively? This is hilarious. We should do this more often, this kind of like video. Maybe this is how we should devise Castle Rock. Just only communicate. This is how we should have devised We Used to Wait. Just communicating through video messages. Okay, so I don't really have a clear idea of how I'm going to answer this question, so this might be quite rambling, and this has already gone on for a minute. So, how do we work collaboratively? So, we don't have a set director, writer, actors or performers, dramaturgs, all of the all of the roles that are normally separated within a lot of theatre companies and contemporary theatre companies and devised theatre companies. We don't separate any of those things. We all collectively and collaboratively take on all of those roles as we work and devise. That isn't to say that we don't sometimes take on those roles together. So someone might step out and direct, and two people might be performing, or some person might have a more dramaturgical role at one point. But they're never fixed in that role. They take that on, and then the group reforms in a collaborative way, maybe. So it's a collaborative dialogue where the roles are flexible and fluid within the group. And that, I feel, often means that the performance that you end up with is people have an equal amount of investment into it. So instead of, say, having a director and a writer that have so much more invested in a performance than, say, an actor who doesn't really like what they're doing, you've got a group who've done everything in making a show collectively. So so everyone is equally invested in what they've made, and so when they then perform that, I think it can make the work stronger, because it's important to the group of people that are performing it in equal measures. How else do we work collaboratively? We are interested in working with audience as collaborators in the making of meaning. So we will sometimes purposefully abstract something, whether that's an image or a piece of text or a story or a sound, with the intention that it will mean that the audience have to try a bit harder in understanding it, and hopefully meet us halfway or part of the way in understanding what it is that they're seeing on stage. So we want the audience to be collaborating with us. We don't want to be spoon feeding them. So the collaboration that we have as devisers, we try and keep that as a linear line that goes through the creation of a performance, the performance of it, and then the dialogue that happens between audience members and between us after a show. So we want to when we start making a show, we don't know exactly how it's going to turn out. We don't have a set script, we don't have a set idea. It is a conversation that we're having as devisers, as we're doing tasks and improvisations and exploring a theme or an idea or story. So the creation of it is a conversation between a group of people that ends up as a performance. And then as we're performing it, it's continuation of that conversation with the audience, because we leave enough space and enough gaps in the performance for audience to be able to read, to be able to read their own meaning into it. And then afterwards, we would hope that people would be discussing what they read into what they'd seen and what they thought it meant, and then be discussing that with us and comparing notes and putting things together, and carrying on that dialogue. So the collaborative essence, the inherent collaborative way that mass of our work is something that goes through. We try and have going through the entire process of devising, performing, and discussing. Wow, that was rambling. I hope that was helpful, Jenny.